What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, while we patiently wait for this second round of casting announcements for Avengers Doomsday that we assume will come via another chair sequence, one question remains is, are we going to see any brand new actors' names on the chairs without knowing roles they're playing? True, we got a ton of actor names in the first round, even some we didn't expect to see from the Fox X-Men universe, but we all know which characters those actors play. Could we get some brand new names as part of the announcement? Well, according to one industry insider source 2 weeks ago, if you missed our coverage, Cryptic HD Quality indicated we would be seeing brand new characters not already featured in the MCU as a part of the upcoming 2 Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars films. Well, today we may have heard about the very first character, as coming from multiple industry insider sources. Apparently, Neve Campbell has joined the MCU and is a brand new X-Men character in Polaris. We're going to break down exactly where this came from, what they said, and why this character actually makes a lot of sense in the context of what we already know about Avengers Doomsday. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button, thanks to everyone who's been subbing lately. We are growing again at an absolutely insane rate. Thank you guys. If you haven't already subscribed, I just kindly invite you to do so. It's the #1 thing you can do to support us as content creators. Plus, it'll keep you up to date with all the Avengers stuff and enter you for the giveaways. Stick around to the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so you may or may not have seen this on social media. I'm not sure exactly how long it's going to take my editor to get this video up today, but this broke in the middle of the day, and coming from everybody's favorite anonymous Twitter scoopster, My Time to Shine Hello. As far as their track record, if you're not familiar, well, there's a reason you've probably heard their name before. They've gotten a lot of stuff right. They have had some misses, but really everyone in the scoop game has. Take that as you will. They broke the news that Neve Campbell was joining the MCU to play the character Polaris. Now, obviously, every scoop taken at face value either has some merit based on the person scooping it, or you sort of leave it in grain of salt territory and wait for other scoopers to start weighing in to see if there's any sort of corroborating evidence. Of course, the Hollywood Reporter or Deadline reporting this would be a confirmation for sure. It turns out another industry insider actually stepped up. Alex Perez over at the Cosmic Circus, a writer and editor over there. They also have a proven track record for accuracy with scoops. He came out and said, My Time to Shine Hello doesn't need me to confirm this, but yeah, I'll confirm it. So we have 2 separate industry insiders today confirming Neve Campbell is Polaris. Now, if you're not familiar with her character, it's kind of weird. She's actually the brother and sister of Wanda and Petro Maximoff and the daughter of Magneto, but she was introduced in the comics way before they ever confirmed that in the early 2000s. But early on in the comics, a lot of people were wondering if it was true that Magneto was her dad, because her power is exactly the same. She can control magnetism, and in the spirit of thunderbolts, she's also had severe mental health issues that have been made worse by the actual events in the comics, but still, that's been part of her character arc as well. Now, the reason I mentioned in the prologue that this actually would make sense sort of in the fabric and context of what we already know about Avengers Doomsday is that we see we're about to be introduced to an X-Men timeline that I think is safe to assume is the timeline that they left Monica Rambeau. And we know on that X-Men team are characters like Binary that we've never seen in the Fox X-Men universe. That's why I think so clearly it's going to be a much more expanded version of the X-Men team, and if you consider that they may be facing off against some semblance of the Avengers and the Fantastic Four, and that the Avengers team might actually be the Thunderbolts and Sam Wilson's Avengers, they're going to need a lot more characters in order to get a basic one-to-one, or at least make the size of the teams a little more reasonable when they face off. And if you're wondering where this leaves the return of Scarlet Witch and all of this, unfortunately, it pretty much just confirms what Elizabeth Olsen has been saying the whole time, that she's dead and not coming back. She's actually filming on another film right now while they're doing Doomsday, so it might be that Magneto's daughter here is going to be Polaris instead. That'll be part of the continuity. We already know Sir Ian McKellen is back as Magneto from that first round of announcements. Now, this is normally the part in the video where I would say, okay, let's just wait for the Hollywood Reporter or Deadline to confirm this, but remember, those trades work directly with Marvel in a lot of different capacities, and so Marvel may have asked them not to report on this so they could save it for a chair reveal. Still, this is an extremely exciting bit of news, basically foretelling where we might be at when we pick up in Avengers Doomsday, because look, they don't have to establish any backstory for which characters will show up there. That's an already established timeline. They can just add the characters we want on. And I will also mention, in the same regard, some people on Reddit were sort of poking around or on Twitter asking if this could simply be her cast for the next season of X-Men 97, to which Alex Perez, the guy confirming this, said no, she's only ever had one voice role in her life. This is definitely the live action stuff. So why this is so exciting is when we were talking about that update from Cryptic HD Quality about possible new characters they could involve, we focused on a lot of very Secret Wars-centric characters like the Beyonder or Molecule Man, players that we knew would be a part of that story, not really thinking that this expansion of unforeseen characters in the MCU could be with them exploring building out what that X-Men team looks like, giving us some real deep cuts. Not that Polaris is a deep cut, she's been on the X-Men for quite a long time, still not a character we expected to see, certainly not played by Neve Campbell, and I certainly think this prompts us to at least ask this question: could this be for a long-term casting? I pretty much assumed that any Fox X-Men returning characters we saw would be the old guard, ushered out by the end of Secret Wars, and then when we get to the X-Men reboot that we know that they're freshly casting for now, which seems like a lot younger cast than this group of actors, we would basically get all of the recasts and new versions of those characters. But Neve Campbell coming in for the 2 Avengers movies as a 1 or 2 off, maybe she's killed off in Avengers Doomsday, I think that makes a lot more sense, because really if you look at her age with the rest of the group of actors, no, she's nowhere near as old as Sir Patrick Stewart or Ian McKellen, but you get it. She's not anywhere near as young as the actors we're hearing that might end up on the X-Men squad. That is a much younger group of actors. So that's what I think this is most definitely for. Super exciting for what characters we might get on the X-Men. And since we're playing this game already, guys, who do you want to see from the X-Men or X-Force involved in this, especially if it's going to be a huge face-off between the Avengers, Fantastic Four, and X-Men? Who do they have to have in the mix? I am all ears as always. Let me know down in the comments. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. All right, we are still giving away PlayStation 5s at the channel. In fact, we're doing so for every Marvel drop, and the next one will be Ironheart next month, Fantastic Four after that, Eyes of Wakanda, Marvel Zombies, whatever's left this year. If you want to be entered to winner for any of the other giveaways, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button because you need to be a subscriber, then leave a comment down below because it's truly random. The more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will always be announced at the end of videos live with my voice and the winning comment shown on screen when there is one. So please be safe and vigilant really on any platform, but specifically on YouTube, any channels that are doing giveaways. Please try to remember that anybody can just grab a content creator's photo, make a new account, claim to be that content creator, hit you up in the comments. It's all just a ruse to get you to pay for shipping for a prize that doesn't exist. Guys, no content creator, myself included, will ever charge you for shipping if you win something. So if you should get any spam like that, just report it directly to YouTube. They are very swift about deleting those accounts. Then everywhere they're commented goes away. You've done a huge service to the community. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit that notification bell with all notifications turned on, and of course, if you like today's video, smash the like button. My name is Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, wherever you listen to original music under the name AllFires. And while I would sincerely appreciate you checking my music out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around, we'll be posting again real soon.